Welcome back, dear listeners, to the Friday Flight Podcast, where we rank, recap, and review every horror movie in a given franchise. I'm Jumpscare Jer, and Geraldine, the Fright of the Podcast.
And I'm Frankie, the Flight of the Podcast.
What is your favorite part of the holidays?
Are you asking the audience or are you asking me?
Either, because you're here.
So I don't know about the audience, but I generally do really like, I feel like there is two things about, like, the holidays, and specifically about Christmas, not what we're talking about today. We're talking about Thanksgiving, although I do love the food.
I mean, you don't consider them all to be, like,
for
the
sure,
holidays?
For sure. Yeah, definitely, but I think there's a lot of stress that people get over the holidays.
Yeah.
Like, oh, I got to buy my uncle something. Oh, I got to buy my aunt something.
Yeah.
And like everybody, I feel like we always do this very last minute. I always set out every year, after every Christmas, I'm like, I'm going to get my gifts early this year, not have to worry about it in December. But it never happens. And I'm sure the same thing's going to happen this year. But besides that, I do genuinely enjoy getting gifts for other people. What about you? What's your favorite part?
So many things. Being together with people. I am not, my love language is not gift giving or anything, but I love giving. Like, I love giving a gift. I'm like the mom on Christmas morning with my mug, and I'm just watching them open it, and I'm like I have to get a good reaction. And I know that I rock it because I put a lot of thought into what I want to give.
I have a question. I feel awkward getting gifts, especially opening it in front of somebody. So I want to know, like, what is your expectancy level? Because sometimes I get something, and even though I really like it, I feel so awkward about reacting to it that I don't give maybe the reaction somebody would want. I
have a high expectation, and I'll tell you.
Okay.
One year, like, it was early into Patrick and I dating. We got him, like, I collaborated with his family, and we got him the Secret Labs chair. It's the House Stark Game of Thrones version. It's beautiful, really nice chair. He wanted it for a long time. And I was like, man, I really wish I could afford to get you something like that. Like, I'm just so poor. Collaborated with his family, we got it, surprised him. His reaction was so underwhelming. I was so like, are you fucking with me?
Were you mad?
I was a little disappointed, like,
yeah,
all right, take it back kind of thing. Yeah. Like, but no.
What was his reaction like?
Oh, I have it on video. I can show you, but
You'll have to show me.
He was literally like, whoa.
What did you want?
I don't know. I don't want you to, like, punch holes in the wall or anything,
I just
but
feel
like I want
he's
you to
be a tame
be
guy.
He's too tame.
Yeah.
Like, I
okay,
don't know.
Well, listen. As somebody who is neurodivergent, sometimes getting gifts is very overwhelming because you don't know how to react.
Yeah.
So I will really appreciate a gift, and I'll be just like, thanks. But I'll actually really, really like the gift. I just don't know how to react to it.
It just makes sense. Geraldine's typically a shallow person, so she wants to see it.
Not.
She gives you the gift not for you, but for herself,
Well, I feel good about the gift I gave the person.
Yeah. But
I give good gifts.
But how disappointed would you be if everybody you gave a gift to wanted to open it in the privacy of their own, like, room?
I wouldn't be that upset, but I would be a little bit like,
yeah,
oh, okay, like, whatever. But as long as I knew they enjoyed it,
yeah,
and they were like, thank you so much, it means a lot, that's what feeds me.
Good.
It feeds my soul. It feeds my ego. I'm just kidding.
That's how it should be.
But anyway, that's good. Can you maybe tell the listeners why we would possibly be talking about the holidays? I mean, why is it important?
I have no clue. I don't know why you would ask me this. Besides the fact that we're talking about Pilgrim, a Thanksgiving special TV film episode in Blumhouse holiday horror anthology called Into the Dark.
Isn't that crazy? I didn't know it was a thing.
Me neither. I told you last week, and you kind of gaslit me. Because I was like...
Did I really?
Yes. Well, I mean, you'll see when you edit the episode. But I was like, yo, yeah, like, we're doing Pilgrim next week. It's like, I think it was like a Blumhouse movie. And you were like, oh, no, I'm pretty sure it was a Hulu. And I was like...
It was both.
Yeah. So you were really rude, but I forgive you.
I'm so sorry. But upon further investigation, it's an anthology series. There's 2 seasons, 12 episodes each, because they're supposed to be based around the holidays. I even included every single episode title and what holiday they're related to. So if you want to look at it later, I feel like we could totally sprinkle some of those episodes around in the podcast. I think that would be really fun, especially when we're like, what are we going to talk about?
Yeah. So how many are there? Do you know?
There's 24 total episodes, but we covered 1 out of the 24. So.
And are they all, like, surrounding the holidays?
Holidays in general. So there's like a couple of Halloween episodes. This is 1 of 2 Thanksgiving episodes. I think there's like couple Christmas episodes, New Year's Eve, Valentine's Day, Ides of March, International Women's Day, April Fool's Day, Mother's Day, Father's Day, Independence Day, first day of school, Daughter's Day, St. Patrick's Day, April Fool's/Easter, Pet Appreciation Day, and Spring Full Moon. So some of them are a little like obscure holidays, but I like that because you don't think about it.
Do you celebrate those obscure ones like National Boyfriend Day, National Pizza Day, all that?
I mean, I want my boyfriend to celebrate like National Girlfriend Day and post me, but like that man is like absent on social media.
I feel the same way. I always want Bailey to post me on her social media.
Okay, listen. In my experience, couples who post each other on social media all the time break
not
up.
Happy. They are the ones
they're
who
not
are
happy.
the least happy, which is true because over the years, I used to be constantly on social media. So I don't post as much. So yes, this series is really cool, following a bunch of different holidays. I am excited to at least sprinkle some of those movies in along the way because I did not know it's a whole fucking series.
Yeah, me neither.
And I've seen these movies on there, and every time I pass one, I'm like, interesting. Maybe I'll watch it, and then I never do. And then now I'm like, now I want to, especially after watching this one because
that's cool.
It was
because you're the one that put this on the docket, the Pilgrim.
Yeah, I did put it on the docket because I was like, who doesn't love holiday horror? But I don't see a lot of like Thanksgiving horror movies.
I was talking about this to Bailey where I'm like, I know there's Christmas horror films and the idea of doing one for Thanksgiving and specifically one that revolves around like pilgrims is so out of left field for me.
It's so fun. Yeah. It's such a fun concept, especially because of like how historically terrible pilgrims are. And how like their representation of it, and they definitely touch on that a little bit in the movie, which is really fun.
What were you expecting out of this? Like, did you have high expectations? My expectations were like on the ground. I mean, it's Pilgrim. There's no way this could be any good.
I knew I had watched the trailer, and the trailer enticed me enough that I wanted to see it. I was like, this sounds fun. And then I never got around to watching it. And then when we started approaching the end of the year, I was like, this would be a fun excuse to watch it. Yeah. And then, of course, Eli Roth had announced, I'm also doing Thanksgiving. And I was like, oh, my God, what better way to, like, watch another Thanksgiving horror movie that I've never seen before, talk about it, and then, like, have more, like, movies. And maybe if I like it enough, it'll become part of my, like, every year, like, rewatch kind of thing.
So who is this Eli Roth?
Eli Roth is known in the horror community. He's also known in just, like, he's been in Tarantino films. He was also recently in that terrible TV show that I did dare to watch.
Tiger King? Tiger King?
Oh, no, I did watch the first season of that. It was trash, and I loved it. No, he is an American film director, screenwriter, producer, and actor. As a director and producer, he is most closely associated with the horror genre, namely splatter films, having directed the Cabin Fever and Hostel series. He also did a movie called Knock Knock with Keanu Reeves. I absolutely adored that movie. It's messed up, and you don't expect to see Keanu play a bad guy ever. Like, not like a bad guy as in like, oh, I'm a bad guy like action movie, but I mean like bad guy as in like he's a really shitty person in the movie, and I loved it. He also is known for Green Inferno. He was in Inglourious Bastards, which is Quentin Tarantino, of course. So all around, really cool things. He also, like I said, was in this terrible TV show that I watched recently, Sam Levinson, The Idol, with The Weeknd and Lily Rose Depp.
Eli Roth is an actor.
And director. Producer, all of it. So, really, really cool guy. And maybe you've seen him in something, I don't know. He's very notable, but he was acting in the TV show for The Idol, so.
Okay, not at all what I expected him to look like.
He's so cool. Like, I want to meet him. It'd be very cool to meet him. He kind of reminds me, the way he looks, of, like, Zachary Quinto.
I can kind of see it.
Yeah, and I love Zachary Quinto as well. Like, the kind of, like,
he looks like him mixed with Zachary Levi.
Yes. Perfect. But yeah, so we can talk about this movie and, like, kind of what happens in it for the viewers at home if they didn't see it, because it came out in 2019. We're not really spoiling anything. If you didn't watch it, it's on Hulu. It's worth a watch at least. But yeah, so the movie. We start off with this dysfunctional family. What better way to start off the holidays with a dysfunctional family? I know, I do it every year.
I really like one of the biggest things that I got from this film was the cinematography. This movie, I don't know what the budget was to make this, but for the most part, it was just actors and a camera. Yeah. It seems like most of the budget was spent on like costumes and props, some blood splatter, and I was really impressed with like how entertaining. Like anytime anybody was talking, the camera was like panning.
Yeah.
They used emotional cinematography too. Like when things started getting a little twisted, they would like pan the camera and tilt it a little bit so it could be skewed. They did a lot of. I assume it's a digital zoom where they like just very rapidly zoom into a character's face, and that all kept me entertained. And whenever I see that kind of thing, it also leaves me a bit inspired.
Yeah.
Thinking that like, oh, I can, do this myself, or maybe this is something that could inspire me to make something.
What's really fun about it, because I had a lot of like cool things that I wrote down about like the camera stuff that they chose to do. One of my favorite shots in the movie was when the main character, Cody, is staring outside her bedroom window, and she's like, you can see her in the window, but then you also see like the face, like a close-up of the face, of like a side profile of the Pilgrim guy, Ethan. It was just a really cool shot. It almost looked like it was like it was like a zoom in on the window, but it was also like a zoom in on the guy's face. But like the way they did it was like almost distorted,
right,
but not quite distorted, where you could still see everything. So cool. Very nice
way
to do it. But the only complaint that I feel like I have is that I don't feel like everything, like the story narratively and the tone of like the camera and everything, I don't feel like it all meshed super well. It was not bad by any stretch, but it was really hard to detect the tone sometimes. Like I feel like for you, like you mentioned with Trick or Treat, that was your problem. Like your complaint is that you were like, I didn't know.
I'm glad you mentioned Trick or Treat, because this movie reminds me a lot of Trick or Treat in a lot of ways.
I'm so glad you said that, because I have fun facts about this movie.
All right.
So first of all, you will recognize a couple of names that are in the behind the scenes. Our fan favorite, Marcus Dunstan and Patrick Melton from the Saw franchise, were involved in this movie.
No way!
I'm so serious.
What the heck? That is the most random thing. How did this happen right off the
I don't know.
Saw franchise season?
I don't know. I think he just happened to be upon it, and I think that they also helped with the writing of it as well. But it's also inspired by a true story, which I'll totally tell you about that later, which is really cool.
I saw that, but I don't know anything about it.
This movie was shot in 16 days.
Quick one.
Really quick, because like with the 24 episodes, all of them are like little TV movies, so they had like a quick turnaround time, and they were shooting one like every 3 weeks. So
I get that vibe, yeah.
Which is really cool, because because like you see like Lifetime movies, you could just tell they're just so bad, and they probably spend a lot more time on those, but they make those like really
all
frequently.
Time. So I like that
these are really good.
Imagine all the people, all the crew members, the directors, the writers who got an opportunity to create something.
Yeah.
Like that just provides so many jobs and opportunities to like get something on your resume. So that's awesome. I love that.
Oh yeah. Another fun fact is that Trick or Treat's musical composer Douglas Pipes did the score for this film, as well as Krampus, which we'll later watch, of course.
That's super cool. It was great. I've learned now that I guess I'm a big fan of Douglas Pipes, because I did really enjoy the music for Trick or Treat.
I meant to talk to you about that more, but it just skipped my mind.
It was very classical. Like we don't get music like that anymore.
It's so whimsical too. Like he has this different like take on it, and it really makes you feel like you are in like the tone of the movie.
Yeah,
but
you're right. And it's fun, like you said, whimsical. So I'm a big fan of you, Douglas Pipes.
Me too. The only complaint, like I said, that I had though was detecting the tone, because it felt like it was supposed to be a serious horror movie, but then it quickly shifts to like comedy horror, and I was like, wait.
If I'm being honest, it kind of feels like it's not just us as an audience, but also like the filmmakers themselves.
Yeah, maybe, because like even the camera angles quickly change after that. But that's really the only bad thing that I can say about it so far. But other than that, some more about the plot. Dysfunctional family. We get to meet Cody, who is a young teenager. If I had to guess, she's probably around 17. She's talking about like her being excited to get out of the house.
Well, she's in college, because you mentioned paying $65,000 on tuition at some point.
I mean, but some people
was private school.
Yeah, some people will pay for like really expensive like private schools too.
Really?
So
$65,000 a year?
People are serious about it, because they think that if their kid goes to like this really expensive high school, they're more apt to getting into like those Ivy League schools and having a better future or whatever. It's really just
okay. I don't know why. I just assumed like she was home for the holidays from college or something.
No, I don't think it appears that way to me. At least that's the way I interpreted it. Is that she was like kind of stuck there. That's her life at this point. But we get to meet the family. Obviously, this is not a good time for Cody, because she's reminded that her mother left her many years ago on Thanksgiving.
Sad.
Very sad, and also, I don't really feel like that story was very fleshed out. So that was
No.
another. So I was like, wait, what?
And they kind of give it us to us in like ounces.
Yeah.
So we think it's going to amount to something, but it never really does.
Yeah, kind of like.
I was hoping her mom was going to be one of the pilgrims, dog.
That would be. I was thinking that too. The way that some of the camera angles like happened, I was like, is her mom gonna be one of the pilgrims? Which would have been kind of like crazy cool
Yeah.
because
I
then
was
it would have
expecting kind of a twist, if I'm being honest, throughout the film.
But then again, I think that's also just the way that Marcus Dunstan and Patrick Melton from this whole franchise, like them being involved in it. I think that's kind of like maybe that wasn't intended, but maybe that's just so ingrained in them.
For sure, yeah.
But I was thinking the same thing. I was like, is something crazy about to happen?
Big reveal.
But then stepmom named Anna decides she wants to connect her family by having this like first Thanksgiving experience, and it is like fucking weird.
It is very odd, but I will say, like, I feel like I've come across people like these before. Like, not super often. I don't hang around people with the kind of money that they make.
Yeah.
But I can see like somebody of that nature existing out in the world and wanting to spend money and for experiences, quote unquote, is a big deal nowadays.
Well, I mean, literally, we just recently saw that at the beginning of the year or something like that. I don't remember exactly when it was, but like the big, the thing that imploded, that combusted.
The submarine.
Yes.
Ocean Gate.
People wanted to have like, you're gonna go down there. I mean, come on.
Well, I just mean more so like in the sense of like families will go on retreats or they go kayaking or all these different things to like.
I was going to the more extreme, but
like generally to come closer together.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know if all that's necessary. Like I'm
It's
sure that for some people it works, but I mean we can see for Cody here, like you can't force something. You can't force like a square into a circle.
But I mean, she also like the dad who is played by Kerr Smith, Shane. Is very logical about it, and he's like, this is a tough time for her. Just give her her space. Mm-hmm. Anna doesn't fucking listen, and she just keeps pressing on and trying to just shove it in her face. But then also, out of this like marriage between Anna and Shane, we also get to meet sweet baby Tate, and I love him so much. I want to hold him. I want to cuddle him. I want to hold him like a baby. He's precious.
I thought he was really annoying.
What?
Yeah, I mean, he's always he's basically the biggest problem with the whole movie.
What?
Like,
Are you for real?
They could have all lived if it wasn't for Tate.
What are you talking about?
What are you talking about?
Tate gets held hostage into the house, and then so they have to go get him. It's a problem. They basically free themselves. They have to go back to get him again. It's a problem.
He didn't get held hostage. He was fucking hiding, dog. He figured it out before anybody else did.
Well, see, then get out of here. Let's leave.
I'm sorry. Let's rewind to some of the other podcasts where you were like, I'm sorry, excuse me, about the way that I talked about some of the people. You're going to tell me that Tate, a young boy, is the problem?
I just feel like his character was just really annoying.
He was precious, and
That's another problem I had. It's like he's like does no wrong almost in the film. Like he's
he's a child.
Exactly. Children are
he's an innocent
evil incarnate, and we're supposed to believe. I was suspicious of him the whole movie because he was all nice and cute.
Okay, I will say his little ritual circle around the crow was pretty suspicious. But you know what?
Weird?
I support children doing witchcraft. Okay.
Oh, that's a stance.
Gang. Start them early. Indoctrination, but that's the only indoctrination that we support, not the other stuff.
What's the other stuff?
The other religious stuff that is not cool religion.
Oh, okay. So there's a hierarchy of religion here.
Yeah, because one is highly rooted in killing people for, I don't know, like being different or believing different, obviously. That they get it coming to them. This is another gripe that I have about the movie, though. Over dinner, they do this little wishbone ritual, which I've heard of this, like the wishbone thing.
Mm-hmm. I assume you do it every year.
I don't.
My family's never done it either.
I've done it a couple of times, but not really.
Are you going to do it this year now that you've seen the film?
No. Horror movies are my survival guide. What have you not learned?
I feel like you fall victim to all these things.
That is not true.
Yeah. And also, she made the wish. You could make a different wish, of course.
Right, but
Like a positive one.
be careful what you wish for, babe.
Yeah.
That's a thing you hear growing up all the time. Anyway.
So you don't want any wishes?
Not like that, no.
What if you rubbed a genie's lamp?
There's not a horror movie about a genie's lamp.
Yeah.
That would be so cool, though. Now we need one. I want somebody to take Aladdin and make it scary.
Yeah.
Anyway, I can see it happening. But, so they do this, like, little wishbone thing, and she's like, I hope this thing blows up in Anna's face. And boy, does it. And it goes crazy. It goes south very quickly. And, I mean, the Pilgrims are very scary. I'm not going to lie to you. They do, like, such a good job playing the characters.
I don't think they're scary.
I think it's the commitment to the character that's what gets me. But
If I had to say which one, like if one of them was scary, it's definitely Patience.
Oh my God, yeah.
She's very intense.
So intense.
Yes.
I loved her though.
I love her name, Patience.
You love her name?
Yeah, cool name, Patience. I like it a lot.
It sounds like something I would expect from a Pilgrim name.
Okay, well I guess
Frankie likes names like Patience, Credence.
Oh, I love Credence.
Dorothea. Yeah. Etc.
And that's so interesting. But okay.
Those are pretty names.
I mean, they are, but
They're colonizer names.
I like Edma. Edma's a great one. Nadine. Love Nadine.
that's
Nadine
nice.
is a good one. I like that.
That's a good one.
Yeah, Dorothy's great.
Anyway, so yeah,
Doreen. Great name.
I know
Ethel.
Dory.
You like Ethel?
I like Ethel actually.
Ethel's great.
I also like Esther.
Oh, I love Esther.
But I would never name a child that.
Mm-hmm. You're more like the Kaylee Beth
No.
type.
I literally roast those people. What are you doing?
You roast those people
Not to their face.
for having their names that wasn't given to them?
When they name their kid like Rayleigh and it's like silent E's and I's and everything in between, I'm like, girl, what are you doing?
Mm-hmm.
They're trying to be different.
Very ironic.
Can I be honest with you? Just a lot of people don't know how to spell, and that's okay.
That's true.
It's okay. It's. I understand spelling is hard, but a lot of people don't know how to spell, and they spell their kids some wackadoodle way because they don't know how to spell.
See, Geraldine is like seething, yelling at me right now. She's about to say something.
Because you're about to say something about my name. Because you
I
said it and you're
already
about to say it's
I already did.
ironic. That's not. Geraldine is cool.
But Riley Beth isn't?
No.
What's the difference?
I think the
Geraldine-
problem is when you take name. I say problem. It's not really a problem. You can name your kid
The
whatever you
problem
want.
with America.
But it's just the problem is when you see these really, really basic names that us white people have seen everywhere, like Kaylee, like Beth, like Grace, like Michaela, etc. And then you mash them together to try and be unique. So you have McKaylee Beth, McKaylee Ray, Rayleigh Ann.
McGee.
Yeah, exactly. That's when it becomes like, and then you add all the EIGHs and all the silent like AIs and M's and whatever. It becomes.
It's beautiful. Is what it is. It's art. It's creativity.
It's creative for sure. That's what we'll go with. But you're trying to talk shit about my name. I'm sorry.
I'm not. I like your name, but I also like Kaylee Beth.
I think my name is far more unique. How many Geraldines do you know?
I don't know any Kaylee Beths, and I know one
That's
Geraldine.
a mic drop right there. I can't actually mic drop because it's bad for mics, but you know, invisible mic drop.
Some McKaylee Beth out there. How many McKaylee Beths do you know?
I don't know any. I know more Geraldines than McKaylee Beths.
I'm whatever. Go off, queen. I don't know what to tell you. But yeah, so this movie, a lot of fun. I wasn't expecting anything in the ending, but it was rewarding.
I was expecting a big twist.
The cast was really, really stellar. I have seen several of them in other movies, and I was really shocked because it didn't register until I looked things up later that I was like, wow, okay, didn't remember seeing them in that movie, but now it makes sense, and now the math is mathing, and I'm like, oh, it's full circle. I know these people. Rain Edwards, who plays Cody, is also in a horror movie called Hellfest, which we will have to watch for the podcast because it is a fun time. More of a lower budget kind of movie about like a really cool like Halloween festival called Hellfest. It's really fun. Kerr Smith, who plays the dad, Shane, he's known for Final Destination, which I can't wait to get to that franchise because he'll be
Too
in
exciting. Next year, yeah?
Yeah, My Bloody Valentine, and he's also known for Dawson's Creek, which I've never seen that, but I've heard that it's like a really dumb, soapy kind of show. But
I've heard nothing but praise.
yeah, I mean, same, but like every soapy kind of show is dumb in a sense, you know, when they go on for too long, but you're also like attached to it, and you're like, I hate that I watch it, but I'm gonna continue to watch it because I've invested time. I do it all the time. We have Courtney Hingler. I've never personally seen her in anything, but people who like watch things at home, like Cobra Kai, she's in that. She plays Anna, the stepmom.
No, I don't like how many consonants she has in her last name.
Yeah, Courtney
I feel like it's
Hingler.
like a 10-letter name with 3 consonants.
That's so
or
random.
sorry, with 3 vowels.
We have it's a pretty
Just
long.
3 vowels for 10 letters.
We have Peter Giles as Ethan, and I've never seen him in anything else. He's been in a lot of like TV shows. Nothing that I could remember that any one of us had seen. But this was the first like horror role that I've seen him in, and I think he did fantastic. I was really, really like shocked by his performance. Like I was like, he is good, and I would like to see him in more. If we could ever talk to him, that would be so cool. I'd like to talk to him about this movie because I really enjoyed it. Then the young boy who played Tate is Antonio Raul Corbo. He's known for Summer Camp Island, Pupel of Chimney Town. I think it's I think he did the dub of that.
Yeah, I think it's pronounced Pupel.
I don't know.
Can you pronounce it correctly, please?
Pupel. Okay, but you didn't pronounce Trick or Treat or Halloween
Trick or Treat,
or Sam.
You mean Samhain? Samhain?
Oh, okay. Anyway, he's also known for the SpongeBob movie Sponge on the Run. And then we have Beth Curry as Catherine, Taj Spites as Finn, and Elise Levesque, which we both really enjoyed as Patience.
Yeah,
she was in the movie Ready or Not, and then she also has a Saw crossover with Larique Bent, who played Rig.
Oh,
she was in a
cool.
TV show called Shoot the Messenger, and I was like, whoa, didn't realize it.
It's cool.
She is very, very cool. I really enjoyed her character a lot.
Yeah. I guess this is a lot like 7 Degrees of Kevin Bacon, but with Saw.
Yes, I'm so convinced that we could do that, and it'd be so much fun.
I really like I think out of all of them, the standout for me, aside from Patience, was Cody. I think her performance is phenomenal. I think she did a great job.
I agree. I had a lot of trouble finding some really cool behind the scenes with this movie, but also I think it may have also been due to the fact that it only took them 16 days to film it. So upon my investigating, I found some interviews with Kerr Smith, who played Shane, the father in the movie. He talked about working on this accelerated set and this schedule and how fun it was. And then he also talked about working with Marcus Dunstan from the Saw franchise. So here are these clips that I found for behind-the-scenes content to share with you all.
I think our shooting schedule, I want to, if I remember correctly, it was 16 days. That's ridiculous. I mean, if you're doing like a low budge, B type of movie, then typically you usually have around 3 weeks to make the movie, maybe sometimes 4 if they have a little bit of money. So they're doing this in 16 days, which is it's pretty amazing. Yeah, it was really great. It's amazing to me how Blumhouse puts together one of these 90-minute films they really do it every 3 weeks, even though it's launched every month. But it's pretty amazing. I mean, I don't know of any other production company that's pulling something like that off, and of the production value that they are. So it was fun to be part of that process and to see how it works. And with them hiring Marcus Dunstan to direct this thing, I was pretty excited because he has ties to, he's got a really cool edge to, the way he shoots things. So I was really interested to see what he was going to do with this. And even, after watching it the first time, even after, just rolling the credits in the beginning, I was like, oh man, okay, this is going to be great.
That sounds so fun. Could you imagine to be like on a movie set, to have this thing you do for 3 weeks, and then at the end of it to create something? I mean, I can speak for both of us when I say we're creative people. All 3 of us, this whole team, where we like to create things and we like to have a thing at the end of the thing.
Exactly.
And it is just so satisfying and fulfilling, and that is what my purpose is. And so to hear other people talk about the same kind of experience is super, super fun. And who they're doing it. They're making it.
And who they're doing it with is also really fun. I can only imagine, people we probably wouldn't get anything done because we'd be fangirling the whole time,
right.
I'd be like, what?
Asking questions.
What?
Yeah.
Which I did unfortunately find like videos of him answering questions at like a film festival, but they were broken up questions and broken up answers, so I couldn't share that. But maybe one day we'll find more behind the scenes content for some of these kinds of things. But like I said, this movie is based on a true story, and I also have the origin story that this is based on from the writer. He also experienced this IRL, not quite the killing, but some of the eeriness that the pilgrims bring to the movie was definitely inspired by a true story that he experienced as a young boy. His name is Noah Feinberg, and he is one of the Blumhouse executive writers and TV producers. So super exciting, and I hope you enjoy hearing this clip because I thought it was really cool.
When I was young, I probably 7 or 8, I would say, my mom was PTA president at our school district in Connecticut. She arranged for a Thanksgiving festival for the elementary schoolers to bring in a group of pilgrim reenactors to put on a play about the settling of America. My mom, being PTA president, offered to let the main actor stay in our house for a couple days. That all seemed fine until he actually showed up, and he was dressed as a full pilgrim. He did a great character, so we had this complete stranger living with us for about 2 days, pretending to be a pilgrim. He'd come down to meals, legitimately talking about stories of the Mayflower, full buckle hat, white ruffly collar. I thought maybe the whole pilgrim in character bit was going to be just the yesterday thing, and this morning he would be a normal person. And no, this is still happening. When I originally pitched this to Blumhouse, I knew that we were going to be gearing up to make a Thanksgiving movie for the next November installment of Into the Dark. I didn't go in with any sort of formal pitch. I was more just talking to one of our execs who works on the show, and I kind of brought up this funny thing that happened to me when I was a kid. She was like, "That's insane. Do you have an outline for that?" We kind of talked through kind of the possibilities, what it could look like as a fully fleshed out movie. The best part of this experience, the most gratifying part, has been recently when friends and family have come to me and said they watched it and they say, "That movie is so you." I just love that, and I know that's saying a lot because there's some demented stuff in that movie, just that, something that I worked on that's out there in the world, that people watch it and kind of identify my voice in that, has just been incredibly gratifying.
And when we watched the movie, it says it based on mostly true events.
Yeah.
And I thought, what could that possibly mean?
Yeah.
So
I thought it was a joke too.
Well, I thought maybe it could have been oh, there was a horrific thing that happened somewhere.
Yeah.
But no, this is a lot more fun. Yeah.
It is a lot more fun, and then to take it and to turn that eerie, weirdness that he experienced and turn it into a horror film, genius. It was so cool. And I thought it was a really... Could you imagine being that young and experiencing that? That'd be terrifying.
To me, it sounds fun. To Bailey, she said it sounds horrifying.
That's terrifying.
She doesn't want somebody in her house.
Genuinely terrifying, yeah. But I've also never lived in a house that had a spare bedroom, so...
I would like a house with a spare bedroom.
If I had a spare bedroom, it wouldn't be a spare bedroom. It would be a spare office or a creative zone for me.
Well, that'd be a side. We'd have a bedroom, like an office, maybe even 2 offices.
So that way I couldn't offer my rats. We haven't set up the guest bedroom yet.
Oh, really? I want to have people over all the time.
I don't mind people staying at my house, but especially if it's family or something. Stay the night on the couch or something. But and I get a friend or something. But I don't know. I don't want my house to be the center of oh yeah, everyone let's crash there. No, don't crash with me, please.
That's what I want.
I don't want to be responsible for your life. I don't want to be responsible for cleaning up after you.
I know what you mean. Yeah.
Here's the problem. Frankie wants to be that guy, but he's not the one that would actually clean up and take care of them and all of that stuff.
What do they say? It takes a village.
It takes a village. It takes your wife. Yeah.
That's also funny because village pilgrims. No? Okay.
No, I don't get that at all. Settlement?
I don't know. But anyway, I also finding out that the mom... Anna was also she was having this HOA meeting, and I was like, of course she's an HOA member.
Of course.
What's wrong with HOA?
They're
everything.
assholes.
What does it stand for?
So I don't exactly know what it stands for, but I know that they are so say you live in this nice suburb area, right? And you have this nice house and you want to decorate it. People from the HOA can be you can't have that because it violates HOA.
It's homeowners association.
How is that that's your property. How can
Right,
somebody
but
else
if
tell
it's
you
an
what to do?
HOA, like if you got a HOA kind of like loan kind of thing, they basically have the right to tell you what to do with it. They're
That's
like
messed up.
they're like little snitches, little snitches.
They
little
are.
stitches.
They're literally little snitches. So if you have like your trash can painted a different color, you get knocked for it. And if you have certain plants on your front porch, you'll get knocked for it. If you have your car parked out in front because it won't fit in your garage, you'll get knocked for it. And you have to pay a monthly fee that's usually hundreds of dollars on top of your mortgage or your rent. On top of that, they're scams. They're awful.
I will say the people that are in this group do feel like a coven of, I don't know, nitpickers, Karens.
Little bitches.
Yeah, it's not necessary. And this is a culture that I see, honestly, mostly for me online. Like a lot of people complaining about one thing or another.
Yes, literally like Karens.
Yeah.
They give me Karen vibes, but minus they don't have the haircut. The can I speak to your manager haircut? They don't have it.
Yeah.
But God, yes. Like
Do you think you could thrive here? Because some people, like, they find themselves in these situations. You know,
could I thrive there?
Yeah.
No, I would end up being one of the like hater.
Outcasts.
Like I'd be one of the friends who's like, I had to come see this for myself. Like one of the.
You are such a hateful, vengeful woman.
I would be a hater.
Yeah.
But I mean, yeah. I'm not even gonna sugarcoat it. I couldn't be in that like environment. It's literally if you've never seen the movie Stepford Wives, it's like that where they take successful women and they try to like form them into this conformity like image of what they think a woman should be, but it's like back from the past. I ain't doing that shit.
Yeah.
I would never. But like I also understand and feel Cody here. I sympathize with her. I empathize with her. She's like, no, I don't check my family group chat. I don't check any group chat I'm in. I'm sorry to my friends and family. If you put me in a group chat other than like Discord,
We know.
I will never check it.
We know.
Yeah.
I love everyone. I just can't. It's too overwhelming. When then the notifications start piling up and then I
Well-
see like a big number, I'm like,
Now I'm curious, how many group chats are you in? Maybe that's the problem. I'm in like one or two.
well, okay, so I have like a main group chat with like my old like high school friends. I have a family group chat, and then I have like sometimes they'll start like several other like little group chats without like certain people, like if it's like surrounding birthdays or like planning gift ideas, and I'm like, I can't do it. I can't do it. Please stop. Like I just hate group chats. So it's not like a personal thing. It's just I'm never gonna check it because too much.
Well, from experience, I've learned you mute group chats and DMs. You mute. You just keep muted.
Or I just don't check them.
Yeah.
Like especially like I feel so bad for anybody who's ever sent me anything on TikTok. I ain't never gonna check that shit.
What? Do you ever send anybody else anything?
Rarely.
So, Frankie, you
Really?
cannot judge her for this.
No, I can't.
No, you can't.
I have a method.
No, you don't have a method. You don't have a method.
If you
don't
ask
have a
our
method.
good friend Sabrina, I watch every single one of the TikToks.
But what about the one sent by your girlfriend
I
for
watch
8
him
years?
too.
No, you don't.
I just wait.
You have.
I like to enjoy them with you.
You
So
are a liar.
I know this is true. So
you
I
have
don't-
lie written all over
I
your
don't watch
face.
him on my own. I wait until me and Bailey have some time, and then we watch them together.
This is true, but then he's like,
I
"Oh, do you
enjoy
want to
it.
play Overwatch instead of watching the TikToks?"
And it's just like, I have a
And
memory of a
they're
gopher.
stacked up for months now. I'm not kidding.
I am a person who likes savoring and saving things. So now I have this nice little mountain to,
I'll never get to it though. It's
I
like
will.
it's like when you see like a cartoon of somebody like all the papers piling up.
Yeah.
It's like that. But then it's like
I always make it to the top. I always catch up.
I will never catch them. Like I just feel for Cody there. I was like, yeah, girl, me too. I don't ever check that shit. When I found out this movie was related to Saw behind the scenes people, Marcus Dunstan, Patrick Melton, and stuff like that, there was a certain quote in this movie, and I was like, oh, this is giving John Kramer vibes.
Yes, I'm glad we both caught
Okay!
this.
Go ahead.
Well, I don't know what quote specifically, but just in general, that they keep on being like, you have to know what you're grateful for. Yeah, and that's what they're here. He is like the Pilgrim Jigsaw, basically.
Literally, when people face death up close, they really remember what's important in their life. We've given you a gift. Literally John Kramer, but as a pilgrim.
Yeah, literally same thing.
Colonizer John Kramer. We love it.
Next Saw movie gonna take place during Thanksgiving.
No, I'm here for it.
I mean, the campier the better. Bring it.
I never even considered like a holiday Saw movie.
That'd
be so awesome.
I'm praying to
I've
the
given
Saw
you the
gods.
gift of choosing between life and death.
Yeah, I'll take a Christmas Saw. That sounds fun. And like at the end, everybody's happy.
Tobin Bell dresses up as Santa.
Yeah. Mark Hoffman gives a kid a little present. I love it.
Literally stop. I'm getting excited.
We're writing
about
it.
it.
We're writing a holiday special right now. That's what we're doing.
Yes, please.
Okay.
You said that Tobin Bell's been like in a kind of Hallmark kind of movie, right?
Christian film.
Yeah.
It was on Pureflix.
Now let's get one of these. Get a Saw Pure Flick going, you know?
We can't have any cussing or anything. We could probably do that. We could probably sing it. I mean, I don't know. I couldn't because I got a potty mouth. Anyway, there was also another way that the guy talked in this movie that made me laugh. I don't know why. Because like when the vibes changed, it was like so sudden. Like it was like once they were like fighting for their lives. Like there was a scene with the family and they were like, did we just kill as a family?
Oh my God, that was so dumb. And the part where he found the kid doing the weird crow ritual, which was very sus, and they never talked about it again. But then Ethan is just like, see, God, I didn't have to take anything away.
It was creepy.
That was so
creepy.
creepy and silly and goofy.
The did we just kill as a family part? I
Yeah.
also like in general how they killed that guy.
Yeah.
The camera work was so fun.
It was fun.
Where like they take a zoom in of each weapon they pick up.
I
and
liked
then they
it.
all raise it up to the sky and start whacking.
You know what it reminded me of? Have
What's
you
up?
ever seen Shaun of the Dead?
No.
We need to watch that movie. I've never seen it either, but I really want to watch it.
Oh, it's a podcast movie. We gotta watch it. Okay.
Let's add that to the list.
Because it reminds me of that, and you'll see why once you
Frankie
watch it.
will love Shaun of the Dead.
Oh my God,
I just know he will.
You both would love it. I'm gonna be honest. It's great. But Ethan, the Pilgrim guy, was like, "You best get to shucking." Like he just had
Those are
this
great.
emphasis.
If there was
it
any
just
quotable
fun.
line in this movie, it's that.
It's that.
Yeah.
That or being just like being grateful kind of thing. Like,
Yeah.
oh yeah, being grateful. There was a weird moment as well when the feast starts happening, which, first of all, this tone shift. So again, like 180. I'm like, what is happening? It's like they had like different directors or something for this one movie, is what it felt like. But we didn't get that.
Yeah.
But and that's not saying it's a bad thing. It's just it was really hard to detect the tone.
Yeah, me too. I watched this movie in 2 parts. I watched the first 40 minutes and then the second 40 minutes.
You watched 2 different movies.
Basically.
Yeah.
Because when I watched the first 40 minutes, and which is I actually like the first half of this movie better than the second.
I do too.
And it feels like it's building up to something. I think it reminded me a lot of like American Horror Story.
Yeah.
Like,
Yes.
It had a similar kind of intro.
Kind of like the end of the season. Every season starts off so strong, and then when you get to the end, it's like they gave up, and you're like,
It's not that I hate it. It's just like you said, it's a completely different vibe. And I felt like we were
Yes.
building up to something a little more respectable, if I'm being honest, as
Yes.
opposed to like all the wacky stuff that happened at the end, which is a direction to go in. So I don't blame them, but
And,
it's
like,
not my preferred.
I don't hate the wacky stuff. It was definitely fun to watch, and especially with like the score that Douglas Pipes gave us, it was nice.
It was so fun. It's kind of iconic, if I'm being honest.
It was really good.
Yeah.
And then the only complaint that I had was like this like gospel choir song.
I liked it.
And like the head of her dad, like that scene, I was like, what? This just feels so
That was so obviously that
weird.
guy just sitting underneath the table with his head
Yes,
in a
it
hole.
so was. It was.
I
it's
kind of
so
wish it was
fun.
like a shitty prosthetic because then you would know it's a prosthetic. But he was obviously just sitting there like with his eyes closed.
But I like that because I'm like, oh, like that's something I could do. Like I could set that up.
But also, like, they actually did show like a teeny tiny clip of that, like in the behind, like not behind the scenes, but in like the end credits, because it was showing like them being goofy in between like their takes and stuff. And he had his head like under, like he had his body under
really?
the table.
That's cool.
It's really fun.
I love it.
But like, I kind of love stuff like that, like the practicalness. But I
Yeah.
love this feast. It was rewarding because like you're watching this family. First of all, who the fuck do you think you are coming up in my house like this? And then you're inviting your buddies. That's why I can't invite people over. That is exactly
Yeah,
why.
this lady's like barometer for danger is just completely off. Like from way long ago, she should have been sus.
I mean,
Yeah.
she's a white lady in a horror film, so
Yeah, you're right.
That's so true. That is so true. But I don't know. The ending was not as rewarding as I had hoped it would be, I guess. So that's really the only complaint. But it was still a really good watch. I really had fun with it. It was
You know, it's fun.
definitely
It's better than I
fun.
thought.
Yeah, it was better than I thought too. Because my expectations, I was like, I don't know. It's a Hulu original. We'll see. They're hit or miss.
I would have enjoyed it more, I think, if we shaved off like 20 minutes.
Yeah.
And if I had to decide on a part, is when she was being dunked into the water. We kind of move on from that, and it takes a while to get through that scene. But like I said, first like 45 minutes is
sure-
perfect.
I'm sure it was just because it's hard to film underwater, and they wanted to show that they could do it.
Yeah,
I
you know
get.
what? Yeah.
I get, and that's fair.
Throw it on that resume.
throw it on there. I can do water shots. But yeah, it was just really cool. And then to watch them fight and like this, I don't know, just it was really rewarding when they started like attacking everybody and like the poisonous berries. That was a boss move.
Yeah. That
I was
gnarly like stab into the head through the hand.
Yes,
crazy.
it was really good.
Yeah.
I was like, this was worth the watch whenever it got to that scene, that momentum that it was building up.
That Ethan actor was also great as like walking away and crashing through the window and trying to crawl and get away. His emotional like performance was really good, I thought.
He just did really, really well. I think the Pilgrims were the best part of the movie.
I agree with the exception of Cody. I really like Cody.
Cody was great as well. But she was like, I don't know. I'm just comparing like villains to, you know, she kind of starts as like a little bit of an antagonist, but I think it's valid and I think it's fair that she was an antagonist. I would be too if that traumatic thing happened to me and then like that had happened every year.
She was like the voice of the reason for most of the movie.
I know nobody listens to like quote unquote children because they always think that, oh, you're a teenager, you're just full of hormones and emotions. What do you know? And I'm like, okay. But I also I don't know. I just think they're narratively, I mean, of course they were working with what they had and they only had 16 days to do it. But for 16 days, I think they delivered. I think it was a fun movie.
Yeah, it looked like they had fun. Yeah,
I do have theories and like fun thoughts that I would love to see for like a season 3.
Okay.
Because I love the Tate character so much. He's adorable. I'm sorry. I loved him. I thought he did really good, especially for being that young. There's also some part of him that reminds me of my younger brother. I don't know why, but when characters remind me of my younger brother, I just want to like, I want to hug them and protect them.
I wonder what it is about
I think it's
Tate.
just like because he was pale, but he had like dark hair and glasses. Literally my brother. But I want them to bring him back as like a grown up and maybe do another Thanksgiving movie, like Thanksgiving Part 3.
So like cast a different actor.
He's like F Thanksgiving. I hate it. But like no, like bring back the same guy because he's older now. He's a little bit older now.
He's like 10 maybe.
This was 2019. He was probably like 10.
That was 4 years ago.
I'll look it up.
I don't know, but I think he's a little bit older now. I think the picture that I saw of him recently, the most recent one, was that he was probably in his teen years.
Yeah.
So he could probably.
You want him
they
to
have
play
30-year-olds.
He was born in 2009.
Yeah.
So how old is he now? He was 10 in
14.
that movie. So it's
14.
yeah, he's a teen. He could play
he
a
could
teen.
play a 25-year-old with 2 children.
Literally, 30-year-olds play teenagers.
Not
so
in reverse though. The reverse doesn't happen.
I'm not saying he could play a 30-year-old, but he could definitely play like a teenager or like he could probably, I don't know. It's just an idea, just a theory. I would love to see that. But yeah, I would love to see something like that. Maybe even see Cody come back with Tate and like them dealing with the aftermath of that Thanksgiving thing and then being, I don't know, maybe but put him in a different holiday. That'd be kind of fun.
Or maybe the opposite, because he's the one that really accepted, I feel like, the Pilgrims the most. So maybe he turns into a pilgrim or something like that.
Maybe he starts his own like little cult thing.
Yeah.
It does be happening. Lots of cults out there. But yeah, I really had fun with this one.
I thought it was fun too. I didn't think it was perfect. But I think as a fun little thing over Thanksgiving, you know, it might be worth a watch.
I was very grateful to have seen it.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's it for me, at least. I don't have anything else.
No, me neither. Thank you, everybody, for listening to that. I hope you guys enjoyed the film.
Enjoy the film.
If you're listening to this, we're going to be doing some more holiday cheer, funful. I feel like I've messed that up. Cheer and funful. Cheerful and
fun. The way
fun.
that you said that reminded me of the Grinch. Holiday Hoobie Wuddy? I don't know.
Is that the Jim Carrey one?
Yeah. The best one. What are you talking about?
Yeah, I don't like talking to you about that one. I just know that you like that hideous
baby
monstrosity.
Grinch?
Yeah.
He's so cute.
Oh my god.
Dude, you're so wrong for that. He's adorable.
I understand why you like Tate now, I suppose. But yeah, we're going to be covering another Thanksgiving movie.
Yes, we are. I'm so excited because it looks like the production quality is going to be by a landslide much better.
And it's just called Thanksgiving. And it looks a lot more gory, actually.
A lot more gory, which I'm living for. I don't know if we get... It looks like the killer from that one might be a pilgrim as well, but I'm not sure. I really have no basis other than what I've seen in the trailers, which is not a lot from what we see of the killer. It's more of the deaths that we see, which I'm okay with. But yeah, it's Eli Roth, so I'm excited to see what he's going to do with it.
Well, we're actually going to be taking a break next week. We won't have anything coming out, but the week after, we'll have Thanksgiving out for all of you. And after that, we'll have some Christmas movies coming out.
Yeah, because we'll be celebrating with our family, so that's why we're taking the break off for you guys to also take a break from listening to us. Go relax, hang with your family. But then, of course, holiday, Christmas, New Year's, that kind of content will be coming your way shortly. And maybe we'll do another live stream before the year is done.
Hopefully.
Thank you guys for listening, watching, whatever. Have fun.
Yeah, we'll
Be
catch you
safe.
next time.
Catch ya.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thank you for listening to Fright or Flight, a Live Oaks Village production. This episode was hosted by Geraldine Johnson and Saul Alberto Arzmendi Ochoa.
Produced by me, Bailey B.
Edited by Geraldine Johnson and music composition by Saul Alberto Arzmendi Ochoa.